So we have discussed all about the characteristics of resonance, because in resonance all the atoms which are part of resonance must be planar, and also the position of atoms in resonance also fixed, and the position of sigma bond in resonance is also fixed, while the position of pi bond and lone pair are interconvertible, and all resonating structures are separated by this arrow, and all resonating structure we also called canonical structures. And also for resonance, atoms must have pure p and d orbital, and these p and d orbital must be parallel to each other. So this system we called conjugated system. And we know that resonating structures do not completely explain the property of molecule or ion. So the complete property of molecule or ion is explained by the resonating hybrid. So we can see that these two structures are the resonating structures, while this one is resonating hybrid, and the complete property of a molecule or ion is explained by the resonating hybrid. So basically resonating hybrid completely explain the property of molecule or ion. And also we know if more is the resonance energy, if more resonance energy means more stability of the molecule or ion. Now we will discuss the cases of resonance. See the first case of resonance. The first case of resonance we are going to discuss is we have CH2 double bond, we have CH2 double bond and CH2 plus. So basically in this case we can see this system is conjugated system. This system is conjugated system. You always remember the short trick, because we can see the carbon atom in the case of carbocation is vacant orbital. So basically for resonance, orbitals must be parallel to each other. So this pi bond is basically formed. This pi bond is formed between the parallel orbitals of carbon, and there is one vacant orbital on this carbon atom. So basically there is one vacant orbital on this carbon atom, and this pi bond is between the parallel orbitals of carbon. So this is the hybrid orbital structure of this ionic form. Now we can see that in order to show resonance, so basically this is conjugated system. This system is conjugated system. So in this case we can see, as this orbital is vacant because this carbon atom has positive charge, and there is pi bond between these two carbon atoms, between the parallel orbitals. In order to show resonance, the orbitals must be parallel, as in this case we can see this system is conjugated system. This system is conjugated system when positive charge, then single bond and double bond. So this system we call conjugated system. Now number from positive charge 1, 2, 3. So numbering is done from positive charge carbon 1, 2, 3. Now the pi bond between 2 and 3 position. The pi bond present between 2 and 3 position will shift in between 1 and 2 position. And now the positive charge is shifted from the carbon number 1 to carbon number 3. So basically after resonance, what happens? The bond between 2 and 3 position will shift to 1 and 2 position, and the positive charge from first position will shift to third position. So these two structures we call. So basically now the pi bond is between the 1 and 2 carbon atom, and the positive charge shifted on the third carbon atom. So basically we can say the positive charge is delocalized. The positive charge is delocalized between 1, 2 and 3. So we can see the resonating hybrid, because these two resonating structure cannot explain all the properties of molecule or ion. So the complete property is explained by the resonating hybrid. Now draw the skeleton of this. So skeleton is CH2, CH and CH2, and positive charge is delocalized from this carbon atom to this carbon atom, from 1 to 3. So plus and plus. This is resonating hybrid, and the complete property of a molecule or ion is explained by the resonating hybrid. And these two structures we call the resonating structures. These two are the resonating structures. So this is one of the type of conjugated system, when positive charge, single bond and then double bond. So positive charge shift from position 1 to position 3, and pi bond between position 2 and 3 to position 1 and 2. So these two are resonating structure and this is the resonating hybrid. Now we will discuss case number 1 examples. See, case number 1 examples. As we can see, we have to draw. So we have to draw the resonating structures as shown in the figure for the following compound. As we can see, positive, then single, then double, then single and double. So this is basically a conjugated system. Positive, single, double, we call conjugated system. Now start numbering. So first number is given to the carbon atom with positive charge, then 2 and then 3, and we know that when resonance in between these position 1, 2, 3, so pi bond between 2 and 3 position will shift to 1 and 2 position, and positive charge from first position will shift to third position. So we can see that after resonance is taking place in this part, therefore the positive charge from first position shifted to third position and pi bond from 2 and 3 position to 1 and 2 position. Now we can see again there is possibility of resonance because again conjugated system, positive charge, single, double, then now again number 1, 2, 3, now again numbering 1, 2, 3 because this is also conjugated system. Now the positive charge will shift from first position to third position and the pi bond will shift from 2 and 3 position to 1 and 2 position. So this is the another resonating structure. Now we can see that how many resonating structures we have drawn. We have drawn 3 resonating structures. So how many RS are possible? 3 RS are possible in this case. Now see the next question. We have to draw the resonating structures. Now see. So basically the next case is, we can see in this case positive charge, single and double. So basically this part is the part of conjugated system. Now start numbering. From positive charge you may also do numbering 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3. It may depends on you. So I am numbering it is 1 and 2 and this is 3. So this is numbering what I am doing. And we know the pi bond. The pi bond will shift. The pi bond will shift from 2 and 3 position to 1 and 2 position. And positive charge will shift from first position to third position. So this is the resonating structure. And if we have to draw the resonating hybrid, then we can also draw the resonating hybrid. So basically resonance is taking place only in this part. So draw the resonating hybrid and show the delocalization of pi electron, because pi electron is delocalizing only in this part and positive charge on this carbon atom, also on this carbon atom, therefore partial positive and partial positive. So this is the resonating hybrid of this molecule. Now we have to draw the resonating structure of this molecule also. As we can see, positive charge, single, double. So basically if we numbering 1, 2, 3, so basically on numbering 1, 2, 3 we know the positive charge will shift from position 1 to position 3. So positive charge shifted from position 1 to position 3. The positive charge is shifted from position 1 to position 3 and pi bond is shifted from position 2 and 3 to position 1 and 2. So these two are the resonating structures. Now see the next example. The next example is again we have to draw the resonating structures. As we can see in this case, if we number 1, 2, 1, 2 and 3. So what happens? The pi bond between 2 and 3 position. The pi bond between 2 and 3 position will shift in between 1 and 2, and positive charge from first position will shift to third position. So these two structures are the resonating structures. So this is the first type of conjugated system which we have discussed. Now we can also see the resonance effect in case of, now I am discussing about the resonance effect of benzyl carbocation C. So basically what happens in the benzyl carbocation, as we can see that this is basically the structure of benzyl carbocation. As we can see what happens there is positive charge on this carbon atom. Now if we number, then this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. We know the pi bond from position 2 to 2 and 3 will shift in between 1 and 2. So the first resonating structure is the position of pi bond shift from 2 and 3 position to 1 and 2 position, and the positive charge will shift from position 1 to position 3. So this is the first resonating structure. Now again draw the next resonating structure, again numbering 1, 2 and 3, because positive, single, double, again part of conjugated system. Now again the pi bond between 2 and 3 will shift to 1 and 2, and positive charge from first carbon will shift to third carbon atom. So the next resonating structure is, we can see this part will remain as it is, and positive charge shifted from 1 to position 3, and pi bond between 2, 3 to 1 and 2. Now we can see again it is a part of conjugated system because positive, single, double. So again numbering 1 and 2 and 3. Now again the pi bond will shift from 2 and 3 position to 1 and 2, and positive charge from 1 to position 3 will be shifted. So the next resonating structure is, we can see now pi bond from 2 and 3 position shift in between 1 and 2. In between 1 and 2, rest remain as it is, and positive charge from 1 shifted to third position. Now see, this will remain as it is. Now the next structure is, we can see again 1, 2 and 3. So basically again the pi bond from 2 and 3 position, the pi bond from 2 and 3 position will shift in between 1 and 2, and positive charge from first position to shifted to third position. So the next and final RS of this structure is, rest will remain as it is. Now this is the final structure. So we can see that how many resonating structures we have drawn, 5. And when we draw the resonating hybrid, so we can see that positive charge is present on ortho position. This is ortho, and this is ortho, and this is para. So basically in case of benzyl carbocation, the positive charge is present on ortho and para position. So basically we can say, if we draw the resonating hybrid, so this is basically CH2, the positive charge on ortho, para and ortho, and also there is positive charge. So this is the resonating hybrid. Now we can see that in benzene ring, so basically our next point is, in benzene ring what happens, see. So in the case of benzene ring, see what happens. In benzene ring, the resonance effect is transferred only at ortho and para position, but not at meta position. As we have drawn the structure, the hybrid structure is positive charge on this carbon atom, and positive charge at ortho position, and positive charge as para position. So this is, and also there is delocalization of pi electron in the ring. So this is the resonating hybrid. So basically in the benzene ring, the resonance effect is transferred only at ortho and para positions. Now see the next molecule and its resonating structure. As we can see here, plus positive charge, single, double. So it is also a part of conjugated system. And we know the pi bond between 2 and 3 position will shift in between 1 and 2, and positive charge from first position will shift to third position. So now the pi bond in between 1 and 2, and positive charge at third position. So basically these two structures are the resonating structure. Now draw the resonating hybrid. In resonating hybrid, simple draw the skeleton, and pi electron is delocalized. Pi electron is delocalized between this 1, 2 and 3. So dash dash dash, showing the delocalization of pi electron, and positive charge at 1 position and 3 position. Therefore partial positive, partial positive. So this is the resonating hybrid. This is the resonating hybrid of this resonating structure. Now see the another case of resonance. This is very interesting case of resonance. You may not have seen this case. So see this case very interestingly. See, the case is basically there is no positive charge on the carbon atom. So this is BH2, boron with hydrogen attached with double bonded carbon. Now see how resonance takes place here. As we know, boron, in boron atomic number of boron is 5. So electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p1. So valence shell configuration we write 1s2, 2s2 2p1. This is ground state. Now this is 2s and this is 2p. Now excite the electron. So on excitation of electron, there is one electron in 2s and this electron is shifted to this orbital. So one unpaired electron. Now we can see in excited state of boron, there is one vacant orbital. But we know, so in case of boron and aluminium, any 13th group element, vacant orbital itself present. So now we can say, for resonance we know, we must have the vacant orbital. For resonance we must have vacant orbital, so that this pi electron, which is a part of this double bonded carbon atom, may shift to this position for resonance. So we can say in this structure also resonance can take place. How resonance can take place? This pi bond will shift this one, because this is vacant orbital and this is the electron pair which is bonded through a pi bond, So now this pi bond will shift in between carbon and boron. So boron will have negative charge, and now because of electron deficiency on this carbon atom will get positive charge. So in this molecule resonance is possible. Why resonance is possible? Because this boron atom has one vacant perpendicular p orbital into which it can accept electron pair. So it is a part of conjugated system. Now see the another example. Now we are giving the case in which we have CH2 double bond CH and BH3 negative. As we can see that in this case boron can form maximum of 4 bonds, and in this case already 4 bonds are there. 3 bonds of boron with hydrogen and 1 with carbon. So boron cannot form more than 4 bonds. If this pi bond from carbon will be shifted to in between carbon and boron, so boron will form 5 bonds, and boron cannot form 5 bonds. Therefore we can say resonance is not possible in this structure. So we can say no resonating structure is possible. In this, because no resonating structure is formed, because no vacant orbital left in boron in this case. So we will say no resonating structure are formed because no vacant orbital left in boron. So in this case there is no vacant orbital, because if this pi electron will shift in between carbon and boron, then there are 5 bonds of boron, which is not possible. Now see how the charge is decided on the basis of electrons in the valence group. As we know, boron group 13 3 valence electron, carbon group 14 4 valence, nitrogen group 15 5 valence, oxygen group 16 6 valence, fluorine group 17 7 valence. So on the basis of group, these are the valence electron on atoms, like bromine group 17, so 7 valence electron, iodine group 17 group 7. Now see, so basically how we can count the charge on lone pair. So basically the method I am going to discuss is the way to count charge on lone pair. See, as we can say, if OH bond is there, see, in OH bond we can see how many electrons oxygen have, because oxygen group number 16. So group number 16 means only 6 electrons. Oxygen belongs to group 16, so 6 electrons. But we can see in this 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So basically the valence electron in oxygen is 6, but after forming bond it is more than 6, which is 7. So it is more than 6, therefore 1 unit of negative charge on oxygen atom. Now see, in the case of NH3, what is the charge on nitrogen? As we can see, how many electrons are there? 1 2 3. So basically there are how many electrons? 3 electrons are forming bond with hydrogen, so 1 2 3 and 2, so basically 5 electrons. And also in nitrogen, valence electron, how many electrons are there? In nitrogen, in valence electron, 5 electrons are there. So basically number of electrons are same as the valence electron, therefore ammonia has no charge. So in this case there is no charge. When valence electron and number of electrons around it same, then there is no charge. If electron extra, then number of valence electron, then negative charge. If electrons are less than the valence electron, then positive charge. Now see the charge on NH. As we can see in NH, how many electrons are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6. But the valence electron in nitrogen is 5. So 6 basically more than 5. Therefore 1 unit of negative charge on nitrogen atom. Now see in this case. In this case we can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So how many electrons are there? 7. But the valence electron of nitrogen are 5. And here it is 7. Means how much it is greater than 5? 2. So therefore on this nitrogen atom there is 2 unit of negative charge. Now see on this NH2. How we can see in NH2 there is negative charge on nitrogen atom. As we can see here 1 2 3 4 5 6. But valence electron in nitrogen is 5 and here we have counted 6. So 6 is more than 5. How much greater? 1 greater. Therefore 1 unit of negative charge on nitrogen atom. Now see in the case of SH. Why SH has -1 of charge? See, as we can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. But in valence shell how many electrons are there for sulfur? 6. But here we have counted 7. How much greater? 1 greater. Therefore 1 unit of negative charge on sulfur. So this is the shortcut method to count the charge, or this charge we can also say formal charge. So this is the shortcut method to count the formal charge. So by using this way we can calculate the charge on any atom. The charge on any atom we can calculate. Now see this case. We have to calculate the charge on this atom. As we can see here. So basically we can see how many electrons are there? 1 2 3 4 and 5 6. And in valence shell of oxygen how many electrons are there? 6. And here also it is 6. Therefore number of valence electrons are same. Therefore there is no charge in aldehyde. Now see in CH3OH. In this case also we can see how many electrons are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6. And oxygen belongs to group number 16. Valence electrons 6. So number of valence electrons are same. Therefore no charge on methanol also. Now see here in this case. As we can see, this case is basically an azide ion, N3 negative. We call this ion as azide ion. See, this is the structure of azide ion, and we are using the shortcut. We are using the shortcut to find the formal charge on each nitrogen atom. As in this case, we can see how many electrons around nitrogen? 1 2 3 4 5 6. But the valence electron of nitrogen is 5 because group 15. But here we can see how many electrons? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Therefore 6 more than 5. So 1 unit greater. Therefore negative charge of 1 unit. Now see on this nitrogen. How many electrons are there? 1 2 3 4. But valence electron in nitrogen is 5. So it is 1 less than 5. So 1 unit less than the valence electron 5. Therefore 1 unit of positive charge. Now see this. How many electron pairs are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 for this nitrogen. So 6 means 6, but valence electron nitrogen is 5. So 6 more than 5. How many? 1 unit is greater. So 1 unit of negative charge. So this is the actual formal charge on each nitrogen atom in case of azide ion. Now see another case. We know CH3 carrying +1 charge. How? As we can see, in carbon valence electrons are 4. But according to bonding we can see 1 2 3. 3 bonds are there. So 3 electrons are there. So 3 basically less than 4. And how much less? 1 unit less. Therefore the charge on carbon atom is +1. So this is the shortcut to find the formal charge on any atom in a molecule. Now see the another case. In this case we can see we have to calculate the formal charge on underlined atom. So in first case we are calculating the formal charge on boron atom. As we can see in boron, how many bonds are formed? 1 2 3. So 3 electrons are there. And also boron belongs to group number 13. How many valence electrons are there? 3. So number of valence electrons are same as the number of electrons involved in the bonding. Therefore there is no charge on boron, so it is neutral. So in this case the charge on boron is 0. Now see the next case. We have to calculate the formal charge on this oxygen atom. As we can see, oxygen belongs to group 16, so valence electron in case of oxygen, valence electron in case of oxygen is 6. Now we can see that how many electrons are there in the given structure: 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7, because one bond is formed between carbon and oxygen. So valence electron 6, but when we calculate the number of electrons in oxygen, they are 7. So 7 is more than 6 by 1, therefore 1 unit of negative charge. So formal charge on this oxygen atom is -1. Now see another case. As we can see, boron, central atom boron, we have to calculate the formal charge on boron. As boron is group number 13 element, boron is group number 13 element, so valence electron in group number 13 is 3. Valence electron in group number 13 is 3. So we can see that in the structure the number of bonds formed by boron is 4. 1 2 3 4. So 4 is more than 3. How much greater it is? 1 unit. Therefore 1 unit of negative charge on boron. So this is the formal charge on boron. Now see the next example. We have to calculate the formal charge on nitrogen. We see in the structure how many electrons are there: 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. But the valence electron in nitrogen is 5, because group number 15, valence electron in nitrogen is 5. So we can say 6 is more than 5. How much greater? 1 unit. Therefore 1 unit of negative charge on nitrogen atom. Now see this case. We have to calculate the formal charge on nitrogen atom again. As we can see, nitrogen group number 15 element. So valence electron in case of nitrogen is 5. But the bond formed by nitrogen here is 1 2 3 4. Therefore 4 electrons are involved only. So 4 is less than 5 by 1 unit. When it is less than the number of valence electron, then positive charge of 1 unit. Now see the next case. We have to calculate the formal charge on sulfur atom. We can see sulfur group number 16 element. Sulfur group number 16 element. So valence electron in sulfur are 6. Now see, around sulfur we can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 1 electron in the bonding. So 7 electrons are there. 7 is more than the valence electron 6, therefore 1 unit of negative charge on sulfur atom. Now see the next example. We have to calculate the formal charge on nitrogen atom. As we can see, nitrogen group 15, nitrogen group number 15, and how many valence electrons are there? Valence electrons are 5, group number 15 element. So basically in this case, according to Lewis dot structure, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 electrons are there. 6 is more than 5, therefore 1 unit of negative charge on nitrogen atom. Now see the next example. We have to calculate the formal charge on aluminium atom. We can know aluminium is group number 13 element. Aluminium is group number 13 element. So we can see group 13 means valence electrons how much are there? Valence electrons are 3. In this case valence electrons are 3. So we can say 1 2 3 4. According to this structure, how many electrons are there? 4. But valence electron only 3, so 4 is greater than 3. Therefore we can say it is 1 unit greater than valence electron, so -1 unit of charge on aluminium. So this is the formal charge on aluminium. Now see the next. We have to calculate the formal charge on each case. Now we can see in this case, as we can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, but the valence electron in oxygen is 6 only. But in the Lewis structure it is 8. So how much greater than 6? 2, because 8 is 2 unit greater than 6, therefore it has 2 unit of negative charge. So we have to find the total number of lone pairs. We have to find the total number of lone pairs. So if charge is -2, if charge is -2 means it has only the valence electron. So on the basis of valence electron we can find the negative charge. So on the basis of negative charge we can also find the lone pair. So reverse process is also possible. Now see, we have to find the charge on NH4 positive. As we can see, NH4 positive is what? 4 bonds are formed by hydrogen with nitrogen. And nitrogen, valence electron in nitrogen is 5. The number of valence electron in nitrogen is 5. But in this case we can see 1 2 3 4. Only 4 electrons are involved in bonding. So 4 which is less than 5, therefore 1 unit of positive charge on nitrogen atom. So this is the shortcut which we have discussed for calculating the formal charge.